Alright. Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Mercury. Sailor Quicksilver here. Amy here. And today we're going to talk about, talk about the RAE Sailor Moon. And if it would have gotten any hate the same way that the Deep Sailor Moon got. First off, that would be hard. First off, it would be hard to say because that Sailor Moon never saw the light of day for anyone until the 8th month of 2022 YL. And I think it would have gotten hate from the Sailor Moon followership over the years. First, if that was the Sailor Moon that everyone saw, then there would have been a slight of the followership. It says, geez, would say, I wish I got to see the drawing show being put in English instead of this show, the half live show, live drawing show, because they would have been irked and angered that the RAE Sailor Moon wasn't following the Toei Sailor Moon word for word, step for step. There would have been some things that would have been unlike. And it's true they would have had to have borrowed and fostered a lot of the sagas that were going on and a lot of things that happened in the 5 followings. How they would have gone by handling that, your guess is good as mine. But you see, that Sailor Moon worthed a lot. And it would have been way too much for Toonmakers, RAE, and Toei to make a show that was half live work and half live drawing. And I know some folks out there would have thought that was the grounds to how Deep got the rights to work with Sailor Moon. And folks would have gotten, and that's how it went. There would have been things that they would have bitched about. They would have said, oh, why is it set in the 4-1 Reichs instead of being set in Dawnland? They would have bitched about that. Then they would have bitched about the names that the cells had. You know how that was gone. Then they would have also, bitched about things like, or say, well, why is Luna white in this one instead of being black or purple or whatever? So they would have things that they wouldn't have liked. The sailor ships, the sky ships, that the sailor fighters, would have flown in. They would have, not liked those. And then they would have been not happy with Queen Beryl in this one, because Queen Beryl in this one has a starship herself, and they would have not liked that. Now, I know there would have been some things about it that they would have liked, and some things they would have not liked about it, but would have gotten the same kind of hate that a lot of folks have for the Deke one, or the Cloverway one, or the Pioneer one, or whatever. And the answer is, I don't know, because I'm not them. I would think that there would have been a slight of the Sailor Moon followership that would have wanted to see the drawing show, and they would have wondered how that would have been like, how putting it into English would have been like, and there would have been folks that would have looked that up on the interweb by any means needed. Yeah, they would have done it either at home if they were lucky and they bought a Reckoner at that time, or at Learn, or at the book house, or whatever. They would have somehow learned what Toei was, what happened in all the 5 followings, and where ARE was fostering and borrowing from, and they would have wished that Sailor Moon would have been done. To tell you the truth, I think they would have had to borrow and foster some things from Sailor Moon to make it work, and there would have been some things they would have not borrowed and fostered. You know, would it have been, you know? But, you know, so as luck has it, it never did go beyond that one following. As I said, it was worth so much for all three businesses to have anything to do with it, because it was worth too much to have a show that was half live work, half drawing show. And it would have worth the folks at Bandai and Toei and ER and the ARE and Toonmakers and whatever, or it would have worth them a lot. So that's why it never went beyond that one following. And then for years that following was locked up in the book house of the Winnemold under the ownership and double right and workcraft of former four-setter of Bandai Vinland, that being Frank Wan, who at the time owned the business, the RAE, Renaissance Atlantic Entertainment, in New Birth, Great Sea Fleet. And that Sailor Moon did not see the light of day until 2022 YL. So I don't really think anyone in the Sailor Moon followership truly has really a belief of it. It was only one saga of what was really meant to be either 5 followings. Who knows how many followings they would have had. We all know that this Sailor Moon would have been on the Fox Folkwork, because that was the Folkwork that was going to pick it up. So I don't really think it would have been on UPN or WB or USA or Cartoon, as the Deke Sailor Moon and Chloe Sailor Moon ended up being one. This Sailor Moon would have been on Fox. It would have been on the Fox Kids side of Fox Folkwork. And at the end of the day, I don't really think there's that much that they would hate about it. I mean, if some folks, before I end this film, did see the Toei Sailor Moon, which all the Sailor Moons are borrowed and offshooted from in some way, more than others, I would think that they would have been some slide of followership that would have not liked it. Would have said it wasn't good enough, and would have bitched about everything, and how this wasn't the Sailor Moon they wanted, and how they wished that some business would have put it into English. Well, anyway, that's just my thought. If you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to share, thumb up, and don't forget to share, like, and playlist this film. Don't forget to hit that ringer to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short is if you are new here. And watch the other film we made yesterday over here. I, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Quicksilver, and we'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.